The 2024 NFL Draft is over, and in this video, we're going to be doing grades for all the selections at the very end, do a final grade for Brad Holmes after this draft. And I know a lot of people is going to be a little indifferent when it comes to this video because a lot of people don't like some of the draft picks. I've already seen the comments, but I'm going to give you my thoughts and what I think, how good this bad boy went. Before we get into today's video, if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. Why is that? Because we drop content every single day. And here in a couple of months, training camp's going to begin. This channel is going to be nonstop for 6 straight months. Let's go ahead and start with the first pick here. The Lions traded up from 29 to go to 24 and pick up a solid player, Terrion Arnold from Alabama. Terrion Arnold, to me, was the best cornerback in this year's draft. And for him to fall to 24 is absolutely absurd, if you ask me. He should have been at least close to a top 10 draft pick. But since the NFL draft went crazy with offense in the beginning, he fell to the Lions. Lions only gave up a third-round pick to move up and to get the best corner in the draft. This is an A+ grade. You can't. This was called the best-case scenario of a position of need. As the best player available, he possesses impressive frame, ideal height. He's got some good length for a cornerback. He's confident, technically sound in man coverage. He's physically stout. He shows patience and aggression at the line of scrimmage. He's efficient footwork. He's got great and fluid hips. Hell of an explosion, transition from the recovery phrase. He's aggressive and approaches downhill. Again, high tackler, consistent smashing the player. And he got better in zone coverage. This is a great draft pick. To me, this is one of those draft picks that really can change a team's trajectory in this season because he is exactly what we needed. So an A+ grade for me, but I got a question for you. Grade the 2024 NFL Draft. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Next pick here may be the most controversial pick, and that's them going Ennis Rakestraw at pick 61, doubling up at the cornerback position, in which I'm actually fine about. The 5'1", 183-pound player, he understands the game. He anticipates plays. He exhibits superior man coverage skills. Uses a blend of physicality and technique to disrupt the wide receivers. Remarkable twitch. Allows quick direction change. He's got good length, significant advantage of enabling him to catch contested catches. He displays excellent football IQ. Number one thing here, he loves to be physical and tackle. Dan Campbell type of player. We're talking about players that like to fight at the line of scrimmage, and the scrappy, who's consistently dealing with beating up on receivers with physicality tackling. That is all Dan Campbell right there. And when I look at this player, I'm going to give this one a B+ grade. Could have went in a different direction, but I am not going to argue with doubling up on corner when our secondary was a big-time problem. And the only way to get it fixed is you get those players to fix that problem. But if you have a problem buying tickets for games or concerts, then you need to get GameTime. They have killer deals. They have the lowest prices guaranteed. And this is a great way to save money if you don't like spending money for concerts, comedy shows, or whatever. It's their lowest prices guaranteed. Their lowest price guaranteed, that's the GameTime guaranteed. If you don't want to be overpaying for sports, you need to use GameTime. All those stress that you've been having would go away. So instead of stressing, getting hyped for the fun that you're going to have is the way to go. It's easy to find and buy tickets for every kind of event in your area. That's sport events, concerts, comedy shows, or whatever. With their lowest price guaranteed, that's the GameTime guaranteed, which means you're always going to get the best prices. And if you find tickets in the same area, section, or less, GameTime is going to credit you 110% of the difference. You can get exclusive flash deals on tickets for football, baseball, basketball, concerts, and more. In the middle screenshot, by the way, I think it's a fantastic feature of the app. It shows you where your seat is, and if you move your phone left to right, you can see the surrounding area like a 3D live photo. So download the app today, put in the code ChatSports, get $20 off. Terms to apply, got to create an account. It's real easy. Again, go to the redeem code section, plug in ChatSports to get $20 and to save some money. The information in the link is going to be in the description and comment section of this video. If you're buying Lions tickets here, any sort of tickets, make sure you're using GameTime, okay? Download GameTime today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed. They absolutely did like, that's why they traded up for this player, and that is going Giovani Manu in the 4th round. And Manu here, really, really solid physical tackle, and that's something that the Lions had to get better at. The 6'8", gigantic human of a man, 350 pounds, is a player that the Lions wanted to get. Could this be the future player on the right side, right tackle position if Panay, after this year, moves to the left? It's possible. He plays narrow. He's off balance a little bit in his run game, left hands, pass pro, but he moves really well for his size, especially out in space, and he punches anyone in his way. Manu is not ready right now, but he's a player the Lions can develop, and he could be a solid offensive tackle for the Lions going forward. So question for you. Grade the draft so far. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm going to continue on here. Next pick for the Detroit Lions in the 5th round was going to a player that a lot of people understand and see the name. He's been mocked to the Detroit Lions many times. I had him in my mock, I think 3 mock drafts. That's Sione Vaki, the safety / running back / special teams player. He is a guy who is kind of like a Swiss Army knife, and when you're wanting to have players to make some plays, he can do it. Yeah, I think he's a defensive back. I think that's where he should be, but I think the Lions are going to use him everywhere, offense and special teams. Vaki is a universal player. He exhibits explosive first steps and quickness. He's got good speed, toughness, versatility. Concerns a little bit about his tackling here. That's going to be a problem if he plays defense initially, but guess what? It's not going to be that big of a problem considering the fact that he's a developmental player. And he's going to develop probably a little bit slower because he's got multiple positions, and that's okay because he contributes on special teams right away, kick return, punt return, as well as coverage. So special teams, he can be up there quick, and the Lions can get it done from that side. Let's continue on here with the next pick for the Detroit Lions, and that's going on the defensive side, on the defensive line, going Mekhi Wingo. He's an edge / interior defensive lineman. He's a guy that the Lions can use on multiple parts of the defensive line, as we like universal players. 6 foot tall, 284 pounds. Wingo is a guy who exhibits explosive first step quickness, lateral directed skills, utilizes a high motor. He's relentless, capable of leveraging his compact build to navigate multiple gaps, shows promising pass rush, strong at the point of attack. He's got that bull rush highlighted by a primary weapon. He offers a unique blend of strength and agility and effective and executing stunts and taking on double teams, and he bringing added value on special teams. So he is exactly the type of guy that the Detroit Lions want to have on that football team. A never-ending motor, relentless guy who loves to attack. But look, it's a player that they can develop slowly, and I think he'll have time on the defensive line, starting time, unlike Broderick and Martin last year. So again, grade the Detroit Lions draft class A, B, C, D, or F. Give me your thoughts in the comments below. My favorite pick of this whole draft here is the last one in the 6th round, and that's going Christian Mahogany, offensive guard out of Boston College. This guy, 6'3", 314 pounds, 21. I cannot believe we got him in the 6th round. This guy, I had a 3rd round / 4th round grade on Mahogany in mock drafts. I had him. That's where I had him. I had him in my mock drafts. And I just thought he was a Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes type of player. And he turns out that they thought the same thing here. Brings a physical and aggressive approach to the game using strength over power. Skilled, excluding double teams, combo blocks, demonstrating quickness, effective in pass protection, and it can absorb the power and neutralize rushers. Remarkable recovery and quickness. Excels and pulls and screen plays. Moving. Utilizes stiff, strong hands, disrupt defenders, adapt identity and adjusting to stunts. Embodies a Muller's mentality. This is going to be our future starting guard. He is going to be our future starting guard. And right now, he can play as a backup if there's an injuries. But after this year, that could be the Zeitler replacement. That's a good player. He's gonna. To me, he has this. He has the ability to be a Pro Bowler. It's a really good selection for the Detroit Lions, and we got a steal. This is my draft steal for this whole football team and this draft itself. So, like I've been asking, grade the Lions draft. A, B, C, D, or F. For Christian Mahogany, this is an A+ grade for me. A+. And the Detroit Lions overall grade, when I look at everything and I see what they did, my overall grade is pretty good for these guys. Right here, A grade. That's what I give the Detroit Lions overall after this draft. They killed it from beginning to end. They were aggressive. They traded up 5 out of 6 times. They got the players they wanted, they coveted. These players are going to help us out significantly. We didn't get an edge rusher. That's the one thing, right? But you weren't to be able to get everything in one draft. So, I mean, that's the knock there. But all these players are going to contribute this year. If there's an injury, you're going to see contributions for tackle and guard. If not, these guys are going to be starters, and they're going to be role players. So, hell of a draft by the Detroit Lions. Brad Holmes. Now, hey, subscribe. With that said, folks, adios.